I started out with vegan probably 2002, and I was vegan or a raw vegan. It was horrible.
Theresa, how did you find carnivore?
Well, it was kind of an accident. I'd been following Dr. Berg for many years, the keto guy. And one day he said something about carnivore diet, and it totally freaked me out. And so I Googled and I came up with Dr. Berry, and I couldn't stop listening to him. So I watched lots of his videos, and he had said something about a 90-day challenge, and I'm always up for a challenge. So I did it, and I'm so glad I did. It was amazing, and it wasn't anything that I needed to do. I've always been healthy, but I'm getting older, and I just felt like I'm always looking for the better way to go and the better way to eat and how to live longer and healthier and fountain of youth and all that. And keto was good for me. I started out with vegan probably 2002, and I was vegan or a raw vegan. It was horrible for about, I guess, about 5 years. Yeah, about 2007 was when I stopped doing that, and I had to go on antidepressants. I was so tired, and I went to the doctor, and I never go to the doctor. And I said, I'm just tired, and I'm not looking forward to my morning cup of coffee. And she's like, you're depressed. And she put me on an antidepressant, and they did the blood test and everything and found out my B12 was like pretty much zero. So I started going for B12 shots once a month, and that helped a little bit. And then I had a kind of a hard time in my life, and my dad was dying from a um, heart failure, and he came to live with us, and he saw how skinny I was from being on this raw vegan diet, and he's like, I want to eat like you. And he actually, I tried to put him on it, but the hospice nurse was like, just give him whatever he wants. And he ended up living a lot longer than they thought he would in my house for 6 months. And then after that, I was so depressed because of him dying and being on a vegan diet. I tried keto, and I had heard of keto before, back in 1997, I think. My husband went on the diet, and he lost, he doesn't need to lose weight, but he lost weight. And I was like, you're too skinny, stop that. And then we moved over to England, and I had a friend there that was doing the keto diet. And so I did it off and on. And then we moved back to America in 2002. I did the raw vegan, and then that just was a mess with me. And I went back to keto, and that was 2007, 2008. And I was keto until I heard Dr. Berg talk about, somebody had asked a question, and he's like, well, you might need to do the carnivore diet for this disease. And I think it was something like an IBS or one of those stomach issues. And so that's what got me to try carnivore. And I've been loving it. With keto, I would fall off the wagon and get back on, but it would take a long time because of the sugar addiction that I have.
Mm.
Carnivore, I loved it, and I loved how I was eating. And I can jump back on if I have one bad day for some reason with the carnivore. I just jump back on, and I love the food that I'm eating. With the keto, it was harder. I don't know why, but so
Yeah, I think there's more temptation with keto, the
yeah,
like it's a constant temptation because you are still having carbs.
right.
Um, so how long has it been now that you've been carnivore?
So it's been a year and a half, and pretty much, doing good with that. I have had a couple slip ups, and my friends don't know I'm carnivore. They still think I'm keto. So if I go out with them, I'll eat a little extra just because they're not even on board with keto. So how would they like carnivore? They would totally freak out. So, but my husband would totally like he's not on board either. So he's it's me all by myself here.
Right. And so what is it so no one knows about it, or if they do, they're not on board. So what is it that keeps you on track?
Um, I feel better on carnivore, and I actually crave it. Like I had some bad news a couple weeks ago, and I was going through the pantry, and I've just like down because I have four children, and three of them are addicts and alcoholics. And one of them that had 10 years sober went off, and so I'm going through the pantry, and there's nothing that looks good to me except for the can of sardines. And I was just like, I am it. I'm a carnivore. I'm a carnivore forever. And I found it, and I thought keto was it. I thought the raw vegan was it back in the day, and bought all the books by David Wolf and all these, people. And I just got rid of all those books a couple years ago. But um, yeah, but this is it. I mean, I know my husband probably thinks, oh, it's just another one of these things that Teresa's doing, and she'll change your mind and find something else. But I think this is it.
So what kind of changes have you noticed in the year and a half?
So, I mean, I don't have any diseases or anything, but the I went on the 90-day challenge just to see if I can do it, and to see. I mean, and I watched so many of these podcasts and heard all these people, and then I found you, and I mean, listening to all these people and their stories, it's just so inspirational. So for me, what I found is I did lose my cravings. Like I didn't feel like I was totally satiated having a steak and a few eggs, and never wanted anything else the rest of the night. With keto, I kind of always did. I I was still like craving stuff, and I could go off so much easier with keto because of that. But yeah, so and I just I feel better. And a few of the things that I've noticed, and I know we talk about a lot of disgusting things on carnivore, but one of the things that started happening a few years ago was I had to go to the when I had to go to the bathroom. I really had to go. So like in the morning, I'll have my coffee in the morning, and then I'm running to the bathroom to go pee like every half hour. And I started having a little bit of incontinence, and now I know why there's so many commercials on TV for all these Depends and all that stuff. On carnivore, I'm not running to the bathroom anymore, and I've never heard anyone talk about this, but it's got to be carnivore. It's got to be something to do with it. And another thing was the toenail fungus. I've had toenail fungus, oh, I don't know, 25 years. So I'm 61 and a half now, and I started having toenail fungus when I was around 40. And it grew out probably in a year. So that was amazing. The sleep was better.
Did you notice any changes with oral health or with your breathing?
Um, Not with the breathing, but with the oral health, yes. And right at the start, what I started doing carnivore, I started doing Invisalign. It's like the adult um, braces, and and you know during that year that I was doing that, the oral health just got so much better. Like no more bleeding gums, and the teeth looked better, and they didn't hurt. That my teeth weren't sensitive. So that was another one that was shocking and very very lovely to have. I don't know. I think also just in the skin and how you look. So when I was 40, I've got a picture of me when I was 40. This is that's me, and this is me now, 20 almost 22 years later. So I think, the keto helped a lot, and I did a very clean keto all those years, and then the carnivore even more so helped with skin. I had like something on my nose that is gone. I still have a spot here, and I know that's going to go away. It's gotten lighter and a little bit smaller. I don't know what it is because I don't go to the doctor, but I'm waiting for that just to disappear, and I'm just looking forward to living, a healthy life. I'm lucky that I found keto at 40 and gave me a head start. And I'm looking forward to a long, healthy life. And, I'm not worried about getting cancer. I'm not worried, about getting type 2 diabetes. I just feel like the food I'm eating is going to keep me healthy. I don't feel like I need um, to have like insurance for health, even though my husband says you have to.
So, how are you eating on a daily basis?
So I grew up on meat. I'm from a rural Kansas City country girl, and we grew up on unpasteurized milk and a lot of meat, and so I've always liked meat. I never got into the low fat craze in the 80s. I always had real butter. We used to churn it on our kitchen table. Um, so now when I was keto, I was eating a lot of salads with a little bit of meat, and now I'm doing a lot of meat and cutting out all the vegetables. So, but I have got a ribeye that's ready for me in a few minutes when we're done here, and I love T-bone steaks. I've never been crazy about chicken unless it's like in a sauce or fried.
How many times a day is that?
So I started I've always done intermittent fasting ever since I was a teenager. So I've never been hungry for breakfast, and lunchtime I would skip it when I was in school, and then now I'm doing just one meal a day, and it seems like sometimes I'm hungrier earlier, and I'll have my meal earlier, but I really like to have it around 7 o'clock at night. Then I can just relax. So I run a cat rescue. So I'm running all day. I'm running these cats everywhere. I'm doing home visits. I'm doing vet visits. I am crazy, and it's very stressful. So I'm on my feet all day long. And then in the evening, I like to sit down and have my steak. And sometimes I'll do beef patties. And a couple times I've been hungry twice, and I've got some grass-fed beef sausages that I got from Costco in the freezer, and I could take one of those out frozen and slice it up and cook it up in like 2 minutes and snack on that. But usually one meal a day, and I think I underate a lot in the first year, but I still lost weight. I mean, um, you know, probably lost 20 pounds. When I was on keto, I would stabilize a lot, but I would go off at Thanksgiving and not get back on until Super Bowl Sunday, after Super Bowl Sunday. And with carnivore, I pretty much stick to it. If I go off a day, I don't beat myself up. I feel like every day I wake up, it's a new day, and it's a fresh start, and you've already fasted all night long and feeling good in the morning. So, but
Nice. So how do you and your husband work in like together with meals and stuff like that?
Yeah, so like right now he's probably eating. Um I he's used to me doing this, and I'll eat whenever I'm hungry, and he'll smell the steak, and that he'll wait and have his dinner. And I do sometimes I have to cook for him, and I'll do like 2 meals a week and with leftovers. Right now he's doing BLTs, so he's cooking up some bacon and doing that. But yeah, it's kind of sad. I mean, I still drink coffee in the morning, so that's our time together. And I just feel like I don't want to give up coffee, even though I probably should, because I think I get kind of jittery now, where I never used to. And you know, and but I feel human. I just want to keep a little bit of my humanity of being, with him, and because we don't eat he snacks all day long, and he's sick of me nagging him, but like he'll eat like sunflower seeds and snack on stuff, and I'm like, you got to stop that. Give your stomach a rest. It needs, you know, it just needs to rest, and you need to process. And but he doesn't listen. His mom was a nurse, and his uncle was a doctor, and his grandfather was a doctor, and
Yeah, understood. So, if one of your friends found out that you were doing carnivore and decided that they wanted to give it a try too, what advice would you give them?
I would say eat, maybe start keto, but I don't think any of my friends would. We're all or I was such foodies, and I was a gourmet cook, and my best friend she was a caterer, and I mean, they're not even on board. If even with me being keto and going to a dinner party with them, and they just look at me like it's horrible because I'm not eating the dessert that they made, or whatever. But I'll eat a little veg if they have it, just so it looks good enough. But yeah, I don't think my friends. I really don't. I Even if they found out I'm doing carnivore compared to keto, I don't think they would be on board ever. They're just in their ways, and they just, even like my husband, they just feel like they have to eat like 3 meals a day and all the colors of the rainbow. And and I feel bad because I've got a friend with Crohn's disease, and I'll say little things like, you need to do, you know uh take out all the food. What's that called, where you and elimination diet.
Elimination.
Yeah. And they don't listen. They don't want to listen. And it's so sad because she's been so sick lately, and she just turned 60 last month. And and a lot of my friends are having like all these kind of replacements, like knees, and somebody's had a hip replaced already, and somebody fell down and had, I forgot what she had to have done, but she got like metal in her foot, osteoporosis that she's got. And I feel bad because I feel so healthy, and I feel like I should tell them, but they're not going to listen.
Yeah, it's one of those things. People really got to find it on their own, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, some people would say that carnivore is restrictive. What would you say to that?
Well, I just feel like, if you feel like it's restrictive, you're not eating what you like. And luckily, I like my meat. I'm not crazy about chicken. I hardly ever eat chicken. Um, but I love lamb. Um, I'll have, I had 2 racks of lamb, which I'm very proud of myself because I ate 2 racks the other day. And um, I, I just feel like if I feel bored, then I fast for a few days, and then I'm loving it again. But I love lamb and I love beef. I'm not real crazy about eating the I don't mind eating fat because that tastes good, but the gristly parts, I never would eat that, and now I am. I'm cutting it up into little pieces because it's good for me and it's collagen. And I used to buy collagen powder and put it in my coffee, and then I heard that that doesn't work. So I'm doing that, and
So, Teresa, is there a way that people can reach out to you if they want to get in contact, like social media?
yeah, I'd love to have some carnivore friends. I'm waiting for something to happen here. I live in Waxhaw, North Carolina. It's south of Charlotte. But I've got an email address that you can put on there.
No worries. I'll include your email in the show notes. Um, Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story, Teresa. I really appreciate your time.
Sure. Thank you. I enjoy your show.